Oh, buddy, we fucking off right now, always. I bet you're gonna start wandering around in the background too, you little shit. Welcome in. Where's she at? Where's she at?
Where's my face? Hello, where's my face?
Hello.
Hello, my lover. Hello, my friend. You are beautiful.
What is
You are beautiful to me.
Where have you been? Nobody knows me.
You do. Oh, nobody.
Where's the third musketeer? Where is she? She's not in there.
Did you see that last gift that she sent? Fuck it, I nearly peed myself.
The monkey.
Did Buddy start playing up? Because Bella has too.
Hey, as soon as I came over, he's on the fucking, in the bucket. And now he'll start wandering around out the back there. Bella boo! Bella, Bella, Bella boo! What the fuck? Bella boo!
Bella,
Bella, Bella, Bella, Bella, Bella boo! Bella boo! Bella boo! Bombastic side eye.
Can you hear
That is kind of cool. Got to
Can you hear
start.
Buddy? Can you hear Buddy? He's getting
How
jealous.
we doing, peeps? We were just waiting for we're waiting for the third leg. Where is she?
Can you not? Yet. You just had a shower. You just want
Missy. Now we're waiting for her. Look at this one. Show Pony in the background. There she is.
Oh God, look at us. Look.
Step on up to the plate. We about to celebrate. I'm really rhyming tonight.
We're vibing. There she is. Whoop. There she is. Whoop. There she is.
Whoop.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Oh my God. All right.
Fuck, how long has it been since we've done a live?
It's been a hot minute.
Have we done one this year? No.
Nah.
Nah. The gang
2025,
back.
baby.
Look out. We got some backup dancers in the back over here.
Just waiting for Gaia now.
Oh shit! I didn't turn off my my read things.
Your what?
I didn't turn off my TikTok read things and people coming in, and we're not doing reads at the moment, guys. We're on for a chat and a vibe and questions and all that jazz.
All right. Oh, fuck, my chair feels uncomfy. Oh, gosh, I haven't had to stare at my screen like this in like a...
Yeah, how long's it been since you've been live?
Ooh. A month? Over a month? Yeah.
Getting rid of the cobwebs tonight, eh?
Yeah, pretty much. I've been live on Instagram, but it's not the same.
Nah.
Not the same.
This bloke loves being in the camera in the background. Like, don't put it directly on me. Just let everybody see me in my natural state. I can't pose.
Let's just tune in.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful for this space.
Yeah, me too.
Someone's in here with a heavy heart.
Yeah, I can feel it. My heart just went like in my shoulder, like right in here.
So, what's happening tonight, peeps?
Who's in here? Are there any of these people? I don't know these people.
Got some reg, or a couple of regs.
Oh, hey, Lita, lovely. I saw your message today. Right. Hey, Lodine, how are you?
Hello.
So tonight we're just jumping in to do a bit of a chin wag, bit of a yarn, bit of a channel.
Hey, Nicola.
I'm trying to remember what the topic
We
was.
are talking about standing in your motherfucking power and how to fucking do this, how to fucking actually activate the power that's not outside of you, that's actually within you. Today is all about us sharing our own perspectives, our own teachings, our own understanding, our own experience of how we've stood in our power and what we feel is going to better support the collectives, as so many people are sitting there dormant or confused or scared, fearful from judgment, criticism, not being enough, not being good enough, feeling like you guys need to, just putting your own selves on the fucking back burner, really. And it's got to stop. It's got to stop, because especially the feminine is rising. The feminine is fucking rising within all of us. And if we don't harness it, you're going to be the one that allows yourself to fall down the cracks.
And that's a big fucking crack to fall down.
So why don't we go around to start off with, and just like Jen, if you wanted to go first, and just say like, what does, in a few words, like what does stepping in your power mean to you at this moment in your life?
For me, at the moment, stepping into my power is understanding what I love doing is the way, is my path. So I'm here to empower people. I'm here to help guide people to their truest, most abundant, energetic space. And to me, standing in your power is all around taking action and honoring your own energy and really, really speaking your truth. Because it's not until we step into that space of knowing who you are and being able to come from like not wanting to put up with all the shit anymore and not caring what other people think, in the sense of I know my intentions and what I'm trying to do and what I am about. What you say I am doesn't matter unless it actually rings true for me. Do you know what I mean? So standing in your power, knowing who the fuck you are, taking the aligned action to get to where you want to be, because otherwise you're just standing in what society is saying should be your norm. And we aren't here for that. We are here to experience life at its fullest. And if we're just given a fucking map and saying you have to stay inside this box and live this way, we're living in control and you'll never truly be free. And for me, it's about freedom of mind, freedom of heart, freedom of soul, to be able to live life on your terms and really honor what you feel, what you want, and what you do. For me. What about you guys?
Okay, Jenna?
So, I feel for me right now in this moment, stepping into your power looks very different from 12 months ago. And so I really want to speak to what it meant to me 1 year ago and what it means to me now, because stepping into my power now is probably doing the most insane fucking crazy fucking shit that you couldn't even fucking imagine. Like, to me right now, stepping into my power is like pitching 10K fucking containers to women and holding my power by saying to them, if you step into my vortex and you work with me, babe, you're gonna fucking skyrocket. So now in my life, like, stepping into my power means like bold. Like, what is the edge of what I'm doing right now? Like, what is the edge of my current like most courageous step that I've ever taken. What is that edge, and how can I lean into it and expand even more? So right now in my life, stepping into my power looks stuff like that. Stepping into my power now is like just owning the fact that I am also a cunt, and I'm also a really good person, and that the bigger I get and the bolder I get, people are just not going to like me, and that is absolutely fine. Because when you align with your mission and your purpose, I can guarantee you nowhere in that contract does it say make sure you're liked by everyone along the way. So stepping into my power means that I have to allow myself to be disliked. I have to allow myself to also be loved. And I have to allow myself to be heard with no fucking filter. Completely gone. Zip. Nada. That is what stepping into my power looks like. It's the peaks of really where I was 12 months ago. Stepping into my power 12 months ago was learning to say no. It was learning to say no to myself. It was learning to say no to other people. It was disconnecting with people and distancing myself from people that I knew deep down it was toxic. And it was holding myself accountable for my healing, my self-love, and my compassion. And it was holding myself accountable to drop down into my body, to hold myself accountable for my intuition, to lean in and trust myself more. This is what stepping into my power 12 months ago probably looked like. And so it's like we can sit here and we can talk about authenticity, and we can talk about how authentic we're being, but are we? Are we being authentic? Are we truly being authentic? Or are you putting on a mask and being what is appropriate when it comes to authenticity, right? Like, it's okay to be authentic until that part of you is going to be judged by the collective or judged by your family, and then all of a sudden you need to back down. Being authentic means you need to hold space, hold power in those moments where people are going to judge you for your authenticity, judge you for the way that you walk, breathe, talk. That to me is what authenticity is. And yeah, that's my take on stepping into your motherfucking power.
Woo! Damn! That was amazing. I love it. It's that little burn with that warmth of love, right? I love it. For me, stepping into my boundaries is having firm, into my power is having firm boundaries. Why? She's like, hello. Go on, mama. Sit down. In the hall. Stay. So for me, stepping into my power lately for me has been, not backing the fuck down. Not backing the fuck down when people fucking push you. Because the thing is that when you go to step into your power, people are going to test you. People are going to push your limits, your boundaries. They are going to try and weasel their way in so many ways, shapes, or forms. And for me, recently, I have had a lot of experiences where people have tested or questioned my truth. And so standing into your power is, like Gina was saying, taking the fucking mask off. You can't wear masks. But we're all wearing masks. We just have to go through this journey of stripping them away and actually not avoiding it, not bypassing it. It's about facing that fucking shadow that's in front of you every single fucking day and saying, you know what? This old story is telling me that I'm not fucking enough. But it's an old story. This is not my fucking truth anymore. This is an old narrative that has kept me small and kept me controlled and kept me like restricted to be palatable, to be pleasable for everybody else. And so for me, stepping into my power is through shedding away all of what no longer serves me, feeling uncomfortable, feeling fucking the fear, and going into it anyway. It's about saying, you know what? I am a fucking testimony of my healing journey, my truth, And I am here to change the fucking world, because none of what I just went through, or none of what I've ever gone through in my life has gone in vain. And I will not let it just simmer in the pits of that darkness and stay there in the shadows. It's about honoring your shadow self and letting that be shone in the light, really, no matter what anybody else says. Standing in your fucking power and reclaiming it is reclaiming all the parts of yourself that other people, through judgments, through actions, or whatever they have done, have stripped you away from. Standing in your power is going, you know what, I reclaim all of that fucking back, and I'm not denying any part of my truth anymore. For me, it's owning that I have done shitty things. I have been a fucking shitty person. But everybody else, just like me, was never born to be a horrible person. We are products of our environments, and standing in your power is going, you know what, I'm going to take control of this motherfucking environment, and I'm going to plow the fucking field and start planting the seeds that are going to nurture my fucking mind, body, and soul.
I love that. I love that too, because it's true. I love the story that I was taught once about the three selves. When we're born, we're that pure energy, life force energy, right? And it's like God, universe, source, Buddha, whoever the fuck you believe in, you know, magically places you in your mummy's tummy. We'll just say that, the birds and the bees. And once you come out into the world, it's like, okay, we're done. Parents take over from here. And whoever raises you has a lot to do with that. But it's also the ages of, I think it's from 3 to about 11, where we're programmed to believe these certain beliefs. And then we start to see it in our exterior world and the societal expectations that are built, and we're molded into these beings. And then we get to an age, it can be at any age, it doesn't have to be like I'm in my 40s, I've just turned 40, but it was, you know, some people in their 20s are understanding this at a deeper level a lot earlier. It doesn't matter how old you are, when you decide to, you know what, something needs to change, you get to choose. But choosing isn't just wishing it, it's taking the action to make it. Because there's, I find online there's so many people that sit and talk about all of this stuff, right? Whether it be spiritual stuff, whether it be business stuff, whether it be feminine stuff, but they're not actually doing it in their lives. They're not embodying it. And it doesn't happen, your life doesn't start to shift and start to change unless you are fucking doing it. It's doing the work, it's understanding the why, it's understanding where it's come from, and then finding that acceptance to be able to move forward. And it's not to say that once you start doing the work, everything's all fucking roses and you live happily ever after. No, there's layers. It's like an onion, like we always talk about. It's the fucking onion layers, and it makes you fucking cry. Sometimes you pull a big layer off and it's a big chunk and stuck in your eyeball, and you know it's about releasing and understanding that doesn't actually have to define your future, right? You get to rewrite the narrative. You get to shift and chase that feeling of, you know, expansion, I guess it is.
Would you guys think back to like the pivotal moment for you that really like shifted things? Because it's all well and good to talk about all the things that, you know, we're doing now, right? Like, it's fucking epic, right? But it's the gap between where people are and how to get here, or even to get to where we were 6 months ago or 12 months ago, right? It's like, what was the first thing that you like, because you know it's moments, right? It's moments. Like you have you go through life having defining moments, and those defining moments actually bust open your grid, and you become more expansive. So for you guys, going right back, what was one of the defining moments where you were just like, I know that I'll never be the same after this.
For me, it was when I had the opportunity to go back to old environments or do the unthinkable, of which society would deem fucking ridiculous. So obviously 3 years ago, literally right now, I was homeless. And it wasn't actually becoming homeless. For me, that was that moment where I was like, fuck, I'm never going to be the same again. It was when I went back into the same environments that I became a product in, and I saw the world. I just saw the repeating happen. It was like with every single person I talked to, every place I went to where there was a person, I could almost see a cycle happening, and it kept taking me back to a previous experience that I had. And so when I said I am not going back to these old environments, it was like I said to my past version of myself, you're not in control anymore. This woman that doesn't actually know fully who she is just going to trust. It's that trust. For me, it wasn't. It was taking a stance against my own self, against my own limiting beliefs, and being like, we're not going down that same path again. And it was in the pain. There was so much pain around that, but the pain became so unbearable. And I was just like, how can you not change? How can you not change? And there were a lot of moments in that time that I noticed. So when you actually, a lot of people kind of, they think grounding and stuff is just like some woo-woo thing. It's actually not. Grounding myself every single day, I had no other choice. It was like Spirit was like, bitch, you need to get your feet on Mother Earth every single day. And in doing that, I found ways within the elements to nurture my whole being, and just start to realize that I was actually safe within my own self.
Yeah. I think for me, I've had multiple pivotal moments, to be honest. It's the first one for me was when, again, coming from a place of pain, I was in a relationship where it was my first proper, solid relationship. And I just remember feeling like, why can't I do anything right? Why is there something wrong with me? What's wrong with me? And I used to sit in this cycle of, I'm nothing, I'm not worthy, I'm not this. And I remember thinking, hang on a minute. Yes, I am. I don't actually deserve to be treated like this. And even though people had been trying to tell me that my relationship was not right, and I was suffering, I refused to see it for a period because the pain wasn't that deep. But it got to a point where the pain of staying the same had outweighed what was, because I knew what that felt like. So it was the cycle. It would be the everything's good, we're all happy, happy, love, 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 and then next minute, boom, this big explosion would happen, and then I'd feel like shit. We'd have these big arguments. I would feel like absolute, like my world was falling apart, and then the fear would creep up, like, oh my God, no, what happens if they go? What happens if they leave? I'm not lovable. I need to prove myself, and then the same cycle would come. And I remember sitting there one day and thinking, why does it just keep, it's like a pattern. And if I don't break this now, then my children are going to see this and think that that's normal. And I do not want them to go through this pain. So for me, it was that moment of, I need to step up, I need to do something, I need to put boundaries in place and understand my worth. But it wasn't until after I stepped away from that relationship that I actually started to really dive into understanding what myself wanted. Sorry, the neighbor's dogs like to fucking bark when I'm talking. Stepping into like I dove deep into the self-help stuff and really slowly started to unpack a different way, because I always thought that you had to be, by a certain age you had to have life together, by a certain age you had to be married with kids and have a home, and it just wasn't eventuating, it wasn't happening. So I was like, well, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? And it wasn't until I realized that it was the choices that I was making that was creating this, that I decided to change my choices, and then I changed my thought patterns, and then I started to change my life. And it's been a similar pattern with different parts of my life throughout that. So first it was the relationships. I then went on to another toxic relationship, but then I didn't stay as long because I learnt quicker. So although I still picked up some of the same habits, I didn't stay as long because I was like, oh, hang on a minute, this is a pattern I'm seeing, I'm noticing, and then I shifted it. And then the same thing happened with my health. I then realized I got to a pivotal moment where if I didn't change, something bad was going to happen, whether it be I was going to lose my mind or I was going to lose my life. So for me, it's been very pain pointed, but now I understand a different way of acting and moving forward and shifting things. You don't have to wait until the pain becomes so intense that you've got no other way but up. You can change at a different level when you understand the way it all works. That was what it was for me.
So I have one that's really like just always stuck in my mind, and it is a moment. It's a moment that happened. I was actually at the Australian Taekwondo Championships, and it was the first ever Taekwondo Championships I had ever been to. And I had been training my fucking ass off for this comp. It was the biggest comp. It still is. Like, it's the comp in Australia. You win this comp, you're the best in Australia in your division, right? And I was around 28 years old, and I was just in this phase of my life where I was starting to like really break out, like for the first time in a really long time. And so what I did was, for 6 months of that fight camp, I traveled to every single Taekwondo competition all over Australia that I could. And I fought and I won all of them. And I was just so like fucking psyched up, right? And there was no room for failure. There was just no room to fail. And I knew that if I went and fought everyone around the country, I would know like what the outcome of this tournament was going to be. I get to know, sorry, so I think the division, like who's going to be in your division is like, I can't remember when we got it, but I just remember it was like a week or two. The lists came out, and the first girl I saw in my division, I was like, oh, I've gacked her, right? Which means like I fought her once and I had so many points against her that they just stopped the fight. It's called a gack win. So I was like, sweet as, there was this chick's name there. I had no idea who the fuck she was. And so I started looking her up. And I got all this anxiety because I didn't know how she fought. I didn't know anything about her. And by the time I got to the day, I was so high in anxiety that I almost couldn't breathe and I couldn't see. I couldn't even sit down. And my fight wasn't until late that afternoon. I remember walking out to the mats with my coach, and he was talking to me, and I couldn't even hear him because I was just riddled with anxiety. And we got onto the fight, into the ring, and they fight, and I'm actually winning. So the first round I'm winning, but I was so not there because I had just psyched myself out so much that I wasn't even present in my body. And then I started to lose, and my coach was trying to coach me and I couldn't hear him. And I remember when we had to one of our breaks, he goes, Jenna, you've got to use the back foot. I'm like, motherfucker, I didn't bring my back foot. I didn't bring my back foot. I got one foot. That's all I got. That's all I know how to do at this point is go like this because my brain's fried. I lost, and I lost by like 2 points. I don't know how she didn't win by more because I was so fried, and I just started crying because I had worked my ass off every single day. Like, I cut weight, I was running like 10Ks every second day, I was in flight camp, I was drilling, I was sparring, I was traveling all over the country, and I lost. And she hugged me. And when she hugged me, she said to me, I trained all year for this. And I broke down, and I'm not even joking, I'm a dramatic bitch. My legs gave way, and I just started crying because I had put so much pressure on myself to perform, and the validation that I was craving from this win was like just something that I just couldn't handle. Like, I couldn't handle the failure. And I could just see my daughters right beside, like they were like 2 steps away from me, right at the side of the ring, bawling their eyes out. And I couldn't get up. And when I finally got off the mat, my coach just starts screaming at me. He's like, what the fuck were you doing? You've just let someone that's way worse than you beat you. Like, you've lost. Do you realize that? You're done. You've lost. And he said something to me, and this is what actually hit me. This is what he said to me. He goes, you will never fight her again. Do you understand that? There's no rematch. There's no redo. You will never, ever, ever, ever fight her again. And in that moment, I said to myself that I will never, ever, 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 ever let the fucking fear or anxiety of something like that ever cripple me like that again. Like, I refuse. And since that day, I have been working day by day on my energetics, on my mindset, on forgiving myself, on healing myself, because I thought, fuck this. The amount of pressure I had put on myself to perform just for a fucking clap, just for a fucking gold medal. I have been in the ring over 300 fucking times. I have won so much. But the reason why I was doing it, and as I got older and my trauma became like I wasn't healing my trauma, the reason why I was fighting was becoming more and more outside of myself. And so that day will always be one of the most fucking pivotal days for me, where I was like, I will always flow. I will always lean in, and I'll always do the stuff that I need to do, the embodiment work, the energetics work, the calming of my mind, the loving on myself. Because I clearly am someone that has a lot of drive, but that doesn't matter if you're not doing the energetics work. So that day will be like forever. It's one of the biggest lessons I truly have ever had, because I can't go back and I can't redo it. There's no second chance. That's it. Ding, ding, motherfucker, you lost. What are you gonna do? And so because of that lesson that I learnt, I've taken that into my business. And this is why I made $40,000 in sales last month. This is why I'm going to be a millionaire by 2026. It's because of my mindset, and it came from that day. Because now when I'm doing anything in my life, everything's neutral. When I'm going into launch, when I'm going in to pick up a phone to sell someone on, fucking investing half their savings into a container with me, I go in neutral, and I go in with spirit, and I go in with my heart. So, yes, that's my lesson. That's my day. That's my moment.
I love that.
So powerful.
Yes.
I know I should be a speaker.
And that's something that we forget, these little moments, and we forget to celebrate these little moments that bring us such great awareness. That actually, yes, we can have these big, extravagant, fucking out the gate experiences happen, like we've all had when it comes to trauma, but it's always the little moments scattered throughout the journey It's
Yeah.
so many little moments scattered, and when we can be present and when we can come back into it, it's those little moments that actually can give us the greatest power.
Oh, 100%. The little moments in your day-to-day life, just if you can look back into yourself with love and lean in to the parts of you that are a bit icky. And like, babe, honestly, it's okay if you're a bit of a cunt. Like, it's okay. Because if you're scared to be a bit of a cunt, then you're a people pleaser, which means you're probably a cunt anyway. So embrace it. Embrace your wholeness. Embrace everything about you. Right? Fuck what society says. Fuck what your fucking mummy, daddy, sister, brother, uncle says. Be yourself, babe, completely. As you are right now. Not when you do the healing work, not when you go and fucking do anything. Like, just right now, as you are, you're a dope bitch. As you are right now, with your little bit of chubby, with your fucking addictions and your fucking whatever the fuck else you're doing, you're good. If you can accept yourself now, babe, that is your fucking key. It's not after you do the thing or after you do this. It's just right now being, you know what, I'm going to accept all of me.
Yep.
And fuck all you motherfuckers that don't, because I love me the way I am, and I'm going to move the way I want to move, and I'm going to go and do what I want to do. And that's it, period. There doesn't need to be anything else after that. Right? We spend so much time. I can't remember. I saw like a TikTok around the audacity of men and how men pat each other on the back for doing like the smallest things. And everyone was like, oh, you know, fuck men, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you know what? Women need to embody that more. Women need to be like, oh my God, I'm doing the world a favor by fucking hanging my laundry out. I'm doing the world a favor by like putting the fucking toilet seat down. Like, fuck. Give yourself more
Brush my fucking teeth today. Fucking yes! Celebrate!
Yes!
Like, fucking hell.
Fucking A.
There are moments where, you know, we haven't wanted to do that sometimes. There are moments where we haven't wanted to hang the laundry out. Where, you know, we haven't wanted to because we haven't felt great. And so it's, don't get me wrong, we fucking celebrate our fucking big wins, and between the three of us, guys, like, but we didn't have big wins to celebrate at the beginning. We had little moments. I actually saw a video that popped up on my Snapchat, and I'm heavy in addiction. I'm outside, and I'm just like, I'm so grateful for life. Like, I'm just so grateful that I'm sitting here right now and I have an hour with my son. This video is literally, I didn't have custody of my son and I could find the gratitude, and I have an hour with my son and I'm outside and I'm so happy. Those are the moments that kept me solid and strong when I actually had not many people around me. It took me a lonely journey to get into this triangle that I have got now. And a lot of people have come to me and said, you know, I would love to have a connection like you do with Jen and Jenna. And I've said to them, you have to do the uncomfortable and walk away from all of those connections that actually
Find your own triangle.
We can't have a hexagon over here. No.
These bitches want to be adding sides.
They don't call the triangle the strongest shape for nothing, right?
The shrine angle.
Triangle.
Shrine angle. But you know, it's taken a lot, and celebrating all those little moments. Like, we celebrate having a nap. We're like, woohoo! I just took a nap. Like.
Yes, especially when you're a manifesting generator and sleep is like, okay, let's go.
So based on what we've shared, is there anyone in here that has any comments, questions?
Yes, there any questions around like what you guys are moving through? Is there something that you're currently moving through right now that you genuinely want help and guidance on? And some honest advice, opinions, and channeled messages. But is there anything that you guys want to ask?
And it's about stepping into your power to do this, right? It's about being vulnerable and like this is your chance. Like you've got some pretty fucking bomb ass bitches here.
There ain't no free bitches like us. Just me.
And that's the other thing, right? Is like insanely awesome. Like self concept is so important.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, hey, Al, how are you, honey? I need to follow you. This is my. By the way, guys, everyone follow me. Backup account. Because I lost my account.
I wonder why.
Everything. Huh?
People not liking you stepping into power.
Probably. That's not my problem.
No, it's not.
You know what?
I lost my other TikTok. This is my new TikTok.
It's her fresh new. Hello,
Haters
guys. I'm back.
Haters gonna hate, the real ones appreciate.
The haters gonna hate, the real ones pay.
That too. Fucking A.
See, the thing is, guys, honestly, the more you grow, I was telling my soul sisters, actually, I was in one of my own mentors because I have a mentor for my business. I have 2 mentors at the moment, and I have my eye on a third mentor. And this mentor who I was in a session with yesterday, she's very polarizing, and that's what I want to be. That I want to be really polarizing. I want to be as polarizing as I can fucking get. So I'm always going to be edging. So if my content accidentally comes out of the screen and slaps you, let me know. Like, comment and tell me so I know it's working. But she actually said that. She was like, if you want to get big, you have to learn that you have to actually be comfortable with being hated. You have to actually get comfortable with it because that's what it takes. Because you've got to be able to handle
the jandal.
Yeah, the jandal on both sides.
I think what I love about it, because we are stripping away masks too, right? Because we're not in fucking denial. We are not in denial here. Everything that we put out in our content, we have fucking moved through. We walk through the fucking walk. We walk through the fire and we've come out the other fucking end. We literally have gone through these experiences so that we can speak on it. And it might be triggering as fuck. But this is how we actually just talk amongst each other too. Our content is actually how we hold ourselves. We don't hold each other at our own expectations. We hold each other at each other's standards.
Yeah. That's right.
Any guidance on trying to not catastrophize relatively small setbacks or mistakes?
Mistakes are fucking epic. Don't be scared of the little fucks because they will teach you more than you will learn any other way. It's failing forward. We got to change the energy that society has put on fucking up, on mistakes. Oh, don't do that. You're a bad person. You fucked up. You're not worthy. Fuck off. That's how we learn. Like, are we going to sit there and call a little 1-year-old a naughty little boy or girl because they can't walk properly? No. Why the fuck do we do it to ourselves as adults? We got to cut that shit out. And we got to start realizing, okay, I've maybe not got it, in flow this time, but now I understand the gap. Now I can try again.
And I also really feel like when we are going through these small setbacks, are they setbacks and mistakes, or are they opportunities for us to pause, to regulate our nervous system that is so fucking important? Because a lot of us go through these extremes. If you're catastrophizing situations and circumstances and experiences in your life, it is actually most likely 99% of the time coming from a dysregulated nervous system. It means that you aren't coming back into your body. You're not regulating your nervous system. Everybody wants to go and make everything perfect, but they're not actually focusing on the one connection with themselves. We have that fight, flight, or freeze mode, right? The autonomic nervous system. And this is what's getting dysregulated. You're either running, you're fucking trying to fight yourself or other people or situations. And what you can do is actually come in, ground yourself. This is what I was saying earlier, right? It's like when you need to ground yourself. Don't underestimate the power of grounding. Because what you're actually doing is allowing yourself to come into the present moment, slow down, connect in with your body. It's not just about the earth or the elements, it's you. It's you coming back into you. And once you have regulated your nervous system, you can go and reflect. Yeah, go and reflect and automatically write what is coming up for you. Ask yourself these questions of, what is this telling me? Because once you've regulated your nervous system, once you've been sat with yourself, you're actually able to observe the whole circumstances. Because it's not little moments, it's not little mistakes. There are actually core habits that you have been that have been relatively probably happening most of your life. And so it's coming up so you can notice it and you can observe and then take aligned action. I actually need help with self-doubt and self-love. Yes, I've been trying to pull myself a constant freeze flight for a long time. You need to come and have a coaching session with me. No.
Yeah, they all should, honestly.
What
I'm
coming up
here
to
now.
you with that?
I'm laughing because I can hear spirits like, be nice, Jenna. Say it, no, don't say it like that. Look. They've said it in a way that they said, I'm just gonna be really blunt. They're not mistakes, babe. If you know that they're mistakes and you're making them over and over again, you're choosing. And the issue is here is a lot of people are comfortable in sitting in their shit and they don't have enough leverage to change these little mistakes that they are dramatizing. And usually the reason why we dramatize this is because we actually crave this for some reason. There's something in the dramatizing that is familiar to you, that you're attaching some sort of dopamine hit to. Yeah? Priorities need to change. If you really want to change, you'll change. And I'm not saying like jump from being good to like being bad to good. I mean moving through the muck, moving through the yuck. The way people end up changing is that they are done with the pain. They're done with the pain. They're done with blaming themselves, blaming other people, and they just want better for themselves. And the only way we get into a point where we're actually going to do the nervous system regulation and all the juicy good stuff is to actually fucking know that if I don't do this, I'm going to die. Like, that's what it has to come to. Because the thing is everyone is out here going, I should do this, I should do that. But you're just shooting all over yourself. I should do this, I should, until it becomes a must, until you've fucking gotten like heart disease or diabetes or severe anxiety that's keeping you, something really bad has to happen before you're like, fuck, I've got to do something about, I'm going to die. I'm actually going to fucking die. And this is why half the world is so sick. And we're painting these fucking pictures for people and validating them in their fucking shit. Yep. Do you want to live? Or are you going to still make fucking funny little humorous jokes about your life and your shitty circumstances? Because I don't find it funny. When someone comes to me and says this, I'm not laughing. So it's like, you know, it's got to just get to the point. Like, is there enough leverage for you to change? Or are you going to keep fucking around and doing the same thing? And on top of that, the issue is that a lot of people that are moving through this, they're surrounded by other people that are moving through this. So one of the key things, guys, honestly, if you cannot do it yourself, if you are struggling immensely and you are like, fuck, I keep going through the same cycles over and over and over again, get your fucking ass into Lauren's membership or Jen's membership that they're dropping. Get yourself into a place where other women are working towards it, and I do not give a fuck if you can't afford it. Then get sick. right? Then just get sick and deal with that. Because that's what it comes down to, right? You always have a fucking choice. Because we can coddle you as much as you like, which is what you're going to get from my soul sisters. And I do. I have the feelings, I have the emotions, I have the empathy, but I also don't feel sorry for you, okay? Because I've been there and I know what the energy is like when you're sitting there. So I see you, for all of you that are listening to this, and you're probably like, fuck this bitch. But I'm going to say what I say, right? I see you. I know how hard it is, okay? But I also know what type of choices you're making in your life. You need to have to want more for yourself. No one is going to pick you up and put you into something else. No one is going to do that. You've got to do it for yourself, right? Otherwise, you're going to not, this is where generational trauma comes from, okay? So if you're out here calling yourself a motherfucking generational cycle breaker, step up and do it.
Yep.
That is my 2 cents.
I fucking love that. I love you for that.
Yeah. And do you know what? Everything is energy, and everybody that comes in and has an energetic reading with me, and I pinpoint the fucking things that are going on in your body, whether they be physical ailments or I just feel them, and I speak to the emotions that are in my books and that are in my fucking brain and knowing, and it just happens to be 100% fucking accurate. There's no you can't make that shit up. Energy is stored in the body and it makes you sick. But guess what? You've also got the ability to fuck it off as well. Once you start dealing with the emotions, once you start moving through the shit, once you start looking after your vessel, mind, body, and soul together, it goes.
I mean, you just have to look at actually Jen's journey with her weight loss. I myself had endometriosis. I have had chronic pancreatitis. I literally was just going to see a specialist, but Spirit came through and was like, you know what? No, this, and this. You're actually suppressing yourself. And then I had to go into a deep patriarchal wounding where I was faced with a deep trauma that had kept my throat chakra and my root chakra completely condensed, that was affecting my autoimmune nervous system. The minute that I fucking done that, I no longer am catching an ambulance every fucking couple of weeks to go into hospital to get on a drip to be pumped with pain medication. Yeah, this is when you look at the stress and you look at the times of my high stress, my trauma that I was going through, and then you look at the time that I was in hospital, this is the clear fucking proof that our energy gets trapped in our body. And the only fucking way that you can move through it isn't in any of these fucking cord cuttings and connections and stuff like that. Energy healing works if you do the mindset work with it. Otherwise, you're only just band-aiding it and you're trying to get somebody else to heal you instead of healing yourself. So this is actually something that Spirit's been coming forth to me, and they've told me to just speak it now, right? Spirit's fucking tired, man. Spirit is fucking tired of, and us as readers that actually give a fuck about every single person that comes onto our life. We do care. We do want you to change, but we're not responsible and we're not accountable for you. But the thing is that Spirit gets so fucking frustrated when there are people that always want the fucking answers but don't take the action. This is about AA of life. Answers, then take action. AA. Get your answers. Fucking then take the action. Because Spirit will keep coming and giving you the fucking answers, but you're going to there's going to be a time where they're just like, cool, we're just going to love you. We're going to just be here for you, but we can't actually make anything happen. Because you're the one living in a human body in this human experience. And so it does get intimidating. It is fucking intimidating. This healing journey isn't for the fucking weak. But you know what's more intimidating? Staying in the fucking shit.
Amen.
Yeah. And I think as well, just going off the back of that, is that if you get defensive from anything that we're saying, then what we're saying is true. because you can sit there and be like, oh no, no. Because at the end of the day, and this is what I say to my daughters, when I'm talking to them about their friends, and because I'm really big on boundaries. Even when my daughters, like if someone talks to them or treats them like shit, I'm like, we don't let people treat us like that, right? And I always say to my daughters, it doesn't matter what you say to me. It doesn't matter what you say to me. If I'm reading for you or anyone's reading for you, and you go, oh no, but this happened to me here and blah, blah. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what I say. It doesn't matter what you say to me. At the end of the day, because you have to live with it, right? You are the one that has to live with it. Bullshitting someone doesn't remove the fact that you're still living with it, right? So it doesn't matter. This is why seeking validation outside of yourself is going to make you sick. It's going to make you ill. And if you constantly are projecting in defense instead of reflecting and listening, then you're going to be stuck in this cycle. It's like taking the three of us, for example. We've come so far in the last 12 months. And there are people that I have been reading for 2 years that are still where they were 2 years ago. Right? They're still where they were 2 years ago. So you've got to make a fucking choice.
So you got
I know, Sandy, I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you, babe. So that's what I'm saying, right? Is like, before I was just speaking, right? Before I was just speaking. But what happens is if we're triggered, because I wasn't speaking directly to you then, I was just speaking, but you've been triggered, and good. That's a good thing. So what's coming up for you there, right? Because I wasn't speaking directly about you, and I'm not having a go at you, but this is a really good opportunity for you to ask yourself. You said before a few comments back that you want self-love. So let's go. Let's drop in there. What came up for you, sis? Yeah? What is it around your diabetes that is making you feel that subconsciously maybe there is something that you're doing that you feel, and I'm not saying there is, but I'm saying that there may be something in your subconscious that you feel that you're doing or not doing that is causing you to feel the way you do in your body, right? This is where big self-reflection is a fucking superpower. Do you know the amount of times that the three of us sit here and we've had the most uncomfortable conversation with someone, and the one thing that we never do is sit there and be like, fuck that person. We actually go, why am I feeling this way? What's going on with me? I really want to fucking just judge on this person. So like, what's coming up for me? It's hard.
Yeah.
Right?
You know what? There's been times where we've triggered each other.
Yeah.
Actually, we trigger each other all the fucking time. But that's honestly what I can say is when you have a connection like what we've got, we are very blessed. I am very fucking grateful for this, because a lot of the time I was doing my reflecting on my own, and you can't, and if you're trying to say, oh, but I'm doing it on my own, I don't have you, we done it on our own. We didn't have other people to hold us accountable for the self-reflection. The reason we have each other now is because we've reflected on our shit so fucking deeply that Spirit was like, these women have done the work, we're now going to bring them together. Because the way we fucking met was definitely no coincidence. Like, Spirit literally put us, I got on a flight, Spirit told me, get on the fucking plane, you're going to Australia in 7 days, and I went to a multi-millionaires event with these two and met them in the flesh. Like, this is where you do the work, you put in the work, you self-reflect, you get fucking triggered, and you go, fuck yes, I get excited. It might hurt a little bit, it might, and I allow myself to feel like, oh, but I don't stay there. You're not to stay there. You're meant to move through. And when you're triggered, come back into your body, sit with yourself and ask. When you're reflecting, make sure that you match it with regulating your nervous system. make sure you do it with something like breathing or moving your body, because you don't want to get stagnant and stuck. You want to distract yourself also so that your mind's not overthinking on the trigger, but it's allowing the energy to flow so that then your emotions, your feelings, and your actual thought process can start flowing also.
And there was something that you said, Jen, the other day actually that was really fitting when we were talking about this. And I just want to give this to you guys as well, is if someone is saying something, right, like how we're talking about if you're not looking after yourself and you're healing, you can become physically sick. If you have some sort of condition, illness, whatever it is, and you know within yourself that that's not the reason, you're not going to be triggered. Because remember when we weren't talking about this specifically, Jen, but you said, well, if I saw that, because that's just not my truth and I know in myself that that's not it, I actually wouldn't even get triggered.
Yeah.
It would not be there.
It's exactly what I speak to when people come into my life, and this is why I'm so good at it. And I know people that watch me love me when the trolls come in and they say the nasty stuff, right? They say, oh, you're a grandma. Oh, you should be going to bed. You shouldn't be on here. Oh, you're ugly. Oh, you're fat. Oh, you're this or you're that. And like, cool story, bro. Go tell someone that cares, because this doesn't actually bother me. I know who the fuck I am. I love who I am. I know my flaws and I accept them anyway. And nothing you say can hurt me, because I have done the hurting of myself and I've healed that. So that's why it's like I'm rubber, you're glue, bounces off me, sticks to you. And when you get yourself in that energy, you're unfuckwithable. You can't penetrate that shit to the point of that hurt, right? And if things that are coming up for you that you feel that you've worked through and they're still triggering you, there's still something there to unpack.
Yeah. Yeah. And we all have our shit. I know that I have stuff that comes up all the time. I have so much stuff, man, that I'm working through. So much stuff that I'm working through and I'm acknowledging within myself, and I'm leaning on my soul sisters and my family, and always making sure that there is room for self-compassion. Because I'm a really big action taker. I take a lot of action. And so I have to make sure that I've got a lot of room for self-compassion and rest in my life. And that's for everyone's different. Some people don't take much action and they require a lot of motivation. So it's, wherever you are, wherever you swing on the pendulum, I suppose.
And I think that's why it's so good to, one of the first best things I ever did was invest in a coach, in a mentor, because I wanted to understand things at a deeper level, and I didn't want to spend the time trying to do it and research it myself. So finding yourself a mentor that's done it, finding someone that knows the path that you want to take, someone that you vibe with, someone that you connect with on a sense where I resonate with that story, or I want what they're doing. Get yourself amongst it, whether it be in a container, whether it be in a membership, because proximity is power. And when you raise your vibration and your energy to that level, that is when the magic actually happens. And the magic is always found in the things that you're avoiding. And when you step into that fucking energy, trust me, the universe is like, oh my God, here we go. She's ready. Let's get her geared up for it. And you start manifesting things. You start taking the things that you're taking action towards. You start to rear their heads, right? But it's keeping that consistent effort. It's surrounding yourself with the people who are doing it, the people that are doing the things that you want to do, or keeping that mentality of, you've got this, babe. Come on, let's do it. That's the whole point of what a mentor and a coach is, to call you forward and step into your fucking power.
Because even though we're all coaches, healers, we all have mentors. We all have coaches.
I got 3, for fuck's sake.
I have 2 at the moment.
Magnetizing our manifestations.
I love that.
And how we magnetize our manifestations
We become
alignment.
There's alignment, like actually being.
Motherfuckers want to manifest stuff and sit on the couch and fucking watch Netflix.
Because you can manifest, you can manifest the not so great stuff. I done it for fucking years. I was a master manifester of creating chaos in my life. I would say shit was gonna fucking happen, and it would fucking happen. And then I started switching it up, like, oh, I'm gonna manifest a fucking van. Oh, make sure you put the finer details on it when you're taking action towards it, or when you tell spirit and you're taking action, because it'll fucking come.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're flying overseas and fucking making the real dreams happen because you're taking the action.
Because whatever you're searching for, you will find. It's not woo-woo, it's true. Because
It's not woo, it's true.
it's you gotta say it twice because it's so awesome. You gotta say it twice. So when it's the makeup of your brain, when you understand that stuff, you will always find the things that you're looking for. That's why when you're in a relationship per se, right, and you're constantly focusing on the fact that he never does the dishes, that he never fucking picks up after himself, that he does this, that he does that, that he does this, that he does that, he's not doing this for me, he's not doing that. Guess what? It's gonna fucking amplify and it's going to rage the fuck out of you. But if you stop for a moment and rather than listing the 10 things that you hate that he does, found 10 things that you love that he does. If there's not 10 things that you love that he does, then maybe you need to
problem
away.
Maybe
right?
you need a reading.
Maybe you need to.
You'll be okay.
Yeah, but when you focus on the good things, you start to see a shift in the shitty things. Right? You will always find what you're looking for. It's exactly like when you're trying to look for a new car. And you've never really thought about this car before, but you might go and purchase one. And then every fucking second car you look at is that car. It's the way that it works.
Yeah, 100%.
Changed my music. It helps so much in being grateful every day. It's not only just the words, right? It's the frequency too.
100.
Yeah.
100%.
You know what? Actually, speaking on that, this is a very different perspective, right? As I'm going to share this because this is actually me going against what I used to preach, was that you can't listen to hip hop music and stuff like that. I used to be big about it. Like when I was in my healing era, I had this whole playlist and nearly like so many people have downloaded it because it's all I talked about online. Like any of you guys that followed me from a while back probably have that playlist on your Spotify account. And it was filled with like, you know, Peach Car, who was probably the coolest person on there, and just really it's a good playlist to be honest, but it's like healing music, like really good, beautiful, like I'm trying to find it. It just was a fucking dope playlist. I called it soul music. There we go. So it had like artists like Peach Car, Moonlight Scorpio, Milan, Tony Jones, Sampa the Great, Bob Marley, Lava, all those people, right? And I went through that phase in my life. And by the way, I 100% believe that music is so important and what you listen to is so important. But I've got into this phase of my life where I've really denied the fact that I'm a bad bitch for so long. I denied the fact that I was that bitch, that I am that bitch. I am the bitch, right? And so I stopped listening to like Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B and all that type of music because I was trying to be something. I was trying to go too far on the other side. I was trying to because I was also a reader, I felt like I had to like live these expectations of what people expected from me as a reader, as someone that was turning up online. And I kind of just threw myself completely into the other side. Right? But now I'm always listening to that type of music, like the playlist I have now.
I'm curious to know, like, is that because you're now in a stronger mindset?
Yes.
So for somebody that is at the beginning of their healing journey, to be listening to some of that music, do you think sometimes that could dysregulate them?
Yeah, I can. And that's why I feel like, that's why I said I think music's really, really important and really, really healing. But yeah, I've noticed that I've stepped into this probably, I reckon it's only been the last month, eh? Do you reckon?
I love me some fucking Cardi B and Nicki Minaj, but I couldn't listen to it back then because it was triggering the fuck out of me for that womanizing and that life that I was heavily living in. So
yeah, same here.
Also the memories that would come through of that music. So when I shifted to like Moonlight Scorpio and stuff, like that was like me too. When I was in, that's all I listened to. If you look back at my like videos and stuff, it was always like Moonlight Scorpio, Petra, like that was it, because I had to listen to all the subliminal messages that were coming through. I didn't want to talk about the drugs and the money and all of that because
That's what I really liked.
but yeah, what is the first step to try healing? Is to not try. Reframe that and go, I am healing. I am living too at the same time. And observing is really good. Like I always say, having a look throughout your day of what you're spending your time doing. You know, it depends where you're at on your journey too, because every individual is actually so different when it comes to where you're at on your own personal journey.
I honestly feel like the first step is wanting to.
The acceptance of that you want to change.
That knowing that there's patterns and behaviors and traumas and energy that needs to shift and move, and you want to do it. Making that decision. I think I said this in a video the other day. You sit in here and you hear people talk about, it took me 10 years to do this, it took me 5 years to do that, it took me 3 years to build my business, it took me, a year to leave him or whatever. No, it didn't take that long. It only took a moment. It only took a split fucking second where your body realized, yes, this is it, I'm going all in, and you don't give up.
100%. I was trying to find, so guys, honestly, vibe. I don't know if you guys know Tony Jones. I listened to her heaps back in the day. She was I loved her. Tony Jones. If you love sort of like R&B, she's got like an R&B jazz vibe, and she's got, her words really hit. So if you guys aren't listening to her, she's a good one.
Really good to listen to her music when you wake up in the morning, if you're not doing meditations, if you don't like meditation, if you find meditation really hard, because a lot of people go, I can't do meditation. Cool, babe, you can actually do meditation while listening to some cool music. Cool, babe, you can actually do meditation whilst you're painting. You can do meditation while you're going for a walk. Meditation isn't just sitting there and going home. Yes, that's like a big part of meditation, but it's not the only way to meditate and find.
Yeah, there's loads of different ways that you can meditate, and you don't actually need to meditate for hours on end unless it's like you find it nice and yummy to do that. Like you can literally drop into your heart space. Like honestly, if you guys want to start somewhere, get yourself like your watch, your phone, and put an alarm clock on for every 2 hours. And just get the alarm clock to say, like, green heart chakra activate or something like this. And when you see it, just place your hand on your heart space and just sit with your heart and just imagine your green heart. Just do that for every 2 hours for the next 30 days. And I can guarantee you your life will change immensely. I'm willing to bet on it. If you do it every 2 hours for the next 30 days, come to me and tell me what you're like in that 30 days, and I can guarantee you will have changed. There will be something different about you, but you have got to put the work in. 2 hours, 30 seconds, that's all it takes, guys, to see a shift. Because what you're doing, when Jen was talking about what you focus on, right, the science behind that is that we're constantly firing things called neurons. And they're like, imagine they're little thoughts, right, that you're constantly firing. And what happens is when you're constantly having the same thoughts, which means you're constantly firing the same neuron, that neuron gets like stronger and stronger, and your brain glue inside your mind, your brain, it actually allots itself to actually make that neuron stick. Yeah. Now, what actually happens when you're anchoring like this is you're forcing your brain to focus on different things. Now, it's going to take at least 30 days for your new neurons that you're firing to actually call in that brain glue, because we only ever have a certain amount in our brain of brain glue at any one time. And so what happens when you're anchoring every day and you're firing these neurons in your brain is going to notice that you're starting to focus on different things. So it's actually going to release itself from that neuron and actually attach itself to this new neuron, this new thought pattern, which is actually going to make what you used to think about slowly fade away. And this is how you shift your reality. If you guys want to know what manifestation is, I've just fucking given it to you. That is what you need to do. All the other shit, all the other stuff, all the other journaling, if you are not doing your journaling is because of this. Your meditation is because you're trying to do this. This is actually what you're trying to do. You're trying to fire a new neuron over and over and over again in your brain until your brain realizes that this is what you actually want to think about the most, and it will start to allot that brain glue to that neuron, and the old neuron will simply fade away, and it won't be something you focus on. And then your life that you're seeing, that you're projecting out of you, is going to look completely different. This is the shit that I wish manifestation coaches spoke on more. Because if you don't understand this on a scientific level, you don't actually know why you're journaling or anchoring or doing all the things or grounding, right? So if you understand that, I feel like it just creates that energy of being a little bit more committed, because there's like facts behind it. You know you're actually doing something. So give it a go, like the every 2 hours heart space activation.
And here's the thing too.
Can you please explain the heart space more? Doubt it's what I imagine. It's literally just focusing on your heart. Like, it's just taking a moment to breathe into your heart space. Like, just focusing on this one area where your heart is beating, just a little bit to the left, and just bringing your awareness to it rather than focusing on anything else. It's about coming into your body. Your heart space is the motor for your body, really, isn't it? So it's like just coming into that motor, and spending a moment with it.
And if you're overthinking, because I know when people are trying, they're like, I've got to do this because I've got to try to not think a different way. It's literally just giving thanks. Literally just being like, oh my God, I'm so grateful my heart is beating without me even having to think about it. I'm so grateful right now. My heart is beating, and just focus on the beat. Focus on the sensations in your body. Don't focus on the thoughts.
Yeah.
And when they come back in, just go, no, I'm focusing back in my body. What does I feel? Where do I feel tension? Where do I feel this? And you shift your mindset to be able to come back into your body rather than into your mind.
And if you can't find any gratitude for your body, because some people can't, just simply, this is why breath work's really good too, right? So you just breathe in, 1, and just count in your head, 1, 2, 3, 4, out, 1, 2, 3, 4. And just breathing in again, 1, 2, 3, 4, and focus on the numbers. And that's still bringing it into your heart space. I think sometimes there can be so much technicalities to such simple practices, and it can get really confusing. And this is why sometimes it is good to get a coach that you can sit with and have, because there's so much information online and it can get overwhelming. So just taking your time and knowing.
You are so good at that. Like, you know what? Honestly.
Yeah. All right, guys. So we've got some final thoughts before my phone dies because I've got 3%.
Any quick questions, guys? The urge to cuddle my heart and remind it we're safe. That's it.
I don't know why I just got
If
this
anyone-
really big. I don't know if someone's struggling with their parents at the moment. I don't know why I felt that, like their parents, or they're feeling unseen by their parents or their mum. Like really big that came through. Someone's feeling really unseen by their mum in here at the moment. Just as we were talking about heart space. And I just want to quickly speak to it before Jen's thing dies, is if you're feeling that, I actually feel that Spirit's telling me there's a grudge that's being held, and maybe your mum's a bit avoidant, and you just need, yeah. If you're resonating with this, I just want you to know that there is going to be a conversation with your mum coming up very soon that's going to really heal this. But there feels to be a big grudge. And I actually think for some reason your mum holds it against you. So, interesting. I can feel that. I want to speak to it more, but her phone's probably going to die.
I think it already has.
Oh, it's you. I felt the grudge, the energy of the grudge really sitting in my stomach quite heavily. Do you feel it?
Frozen, hey? Her phone died?
I don't know.
We're still going. Can people see us?
I don't know.
So weird. Are we going to drop off in a minute? Hello? Can you guys hear us?
Can you guys hear us? Oh, they can see us.
Oh.
Well, I'll just quickly speak to this. Do you feel it? Do you feel it, Loz?
Yeah, I'm actually seeing somebody in my mind's eye of who I think it is. I don't know if this person will contact on here. Yeah. It's interesting. I saw her and she dropped out of the live and then came back in, so might be.
Interesting. Interesting. But before it closes down,
My
guys.
shoulder actually has just been coming in. So that'll be a sign that they've got something going on with their left shoulder, potentially.
Yes. Interesting. You were thinking about it today. Interesting.
Interesting, Laurie.
There's probably a few of you that have it, and maybe that's why it came up, but I was feeling a lot of energy of grudge. Spirit's talking about grudge. I also felt like I had someone's husband beside me before as well.
Laurie! Yeah, I feel like it's Laurie. Yeah, maybe you're meant to speak on it. But it could be collectively messages coming through.
Yeah. So I'll quickly do it before it closes off. So I'm just going to speak collectively to this because my stomach's really hurting. So I feel like there's a few of you in here. I feel like your mum has been overpowering you for a lot of your life, and it's really made you shrink. And it's really made you keep small. You may also at times be in your masculine because of this. But I also feel that there's a very just a very innocent, childlike part of you that's really craving to be seen by your mum. And I'm going to say this the way it's coming in because Spirit's actually saying that if you get the opportunity to actually sit with your mum, to take it, obviously there's free will, and to actually bring forward that inner child, that part of you that's been craving her, and let her see that. Because I actually feel like your mum's actually craving you as well. These are very subconscious things, though. They're not surface-based things. I feel for whatever reason there's a grudge there that feels like it's been keeping you two apart. So that's actually like generational wounding that needs to be cleared. Really heavy.
Yeah.
Anywho, I think we're
done, my lovelies.
we're done. We're gonna jump off. But thank you for listening to us. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
All right.
Oh, it died. Oh shit! Hang on. Sorry, guys. Don't think it's gonna last for much longer. One sec.